Hello there, survivors, and welcome back to another video in ARK Survival Ascended. Today we've got another building time-lapse for you, building some more builds with the Castle Keeps and Forts mod. Right here on Estrellas, of course, we did this last time as well, creating a nice little medieval street. And today we're going to continue our work on this side of the river, adding a butcher's, a tailor, a sculptor, as well as a house under construction. And of course, for these builds, we're mostly using CKF, but we also have some details from other mods, like decorating with JVH landscaping. We also have some decor from the Castle Craft Deco mod, as well as a few from the Castle Craft custom cosmetic, namely the statues, as well as some Estrellas custom cosmetic statues, and some details from the Western Deco mod. And I think that pretty much sums it up. So before we go into the full tour of the entire place, let's go into the time lapse. And here we go. This is what we did. So last time we built these little fishing houses. We had this main street, and now we've added a few new builds. Then he made this house under construction, which looks really cool. Also utilizing the visual storage crane to, you know, showcase that things are being lifted up. And I really like the way you're able to do this with Castle Keeps and Forts, because this really adds a lot. I think this adds like a lot of storytelling to your builds if you have a few things like this going on. Then I built the sculptor right over here, so it's a little bit of a bigger workshop with some really cool different bits to the building, and of course a bunch of statues, some of the Estrellas custom cosmetics, as well as of the Castle Craft custom cosmetics, which are really cool actually. This is the first time that I'm playing around with those. There's also a wyvern one, but it was a little bit too big. But you also have these skins for the trophy mounts, which is really cool to play around with. I think we have one more. Yeah, there we go, one more. And yeah, just a bunch of these statues all the way around. Now there's no like interiors for these builds because we're doing time lapses, of course, but we did detail a little bit around here, as you can see, and I'm quite happy with the way that turned out for my little sculptor build. Also really happy with these little owls that we've got going on. So we have one flying here with a little dermis, and then we have another one coming right out this little hole here at the tailors. That was actually suggested by Exile, which is the mod maker of Castle Keeps and Forts. And then we have the tailor right here, which was built by Mr. Farm Boy or Mr. Chicken Man himself. Really cool build as well. I really like all the different layers for this one. And then we have the butcher right at the end of the street, made by Wild Times, and it has some crazy cool details, as you will see. So yeah, it's a smaller amount of builds, but I think they went up in detail, so they're definitely really cool. And I'm loving this project and seeing it grow every time. I think this is going to be really cool once we're completely done. Also, big thank you to whoever suggested the Base Guardian mod. I added that, and now no wild dinos can come close to a little town again. So that means that my cat is now safe. I don't need to stuff the cat. It can just live here without being attacked all the time, which is going to be a big help to be able to just add like live dinos to a build as details without worrying them being attacked and having to add turrets and stuff. So we actually have a live horse in the street now as well, instead of having a dermis, which is really cool. We got some dermises of players around as well, some dressed up with the dwarven custom cosmetic armor as this, I think. And yeah, we've got a few of those around. Unfortunately, I can't add my own dermis because I'm too small, so I'll just float. So I have to rely on asking the other guys to join me to add my dermis. I do have my camera account right over there that I record the time lapses with. So there is a little sleeping shark right here on the corner of the street. So let's check out these builds in a little bit more detail. So we got the butcher right over here that Wild made, and he did a lot of with the painting, as you can see, changing some of these colors around to be a little bit brighter. There's a lot of detail on this house as well, with all the little plants and the little overhang here at the back. Looks really cool. And we've got some blood coming in from different angles, which is a little bit messed up, I'm not gonna lie, but you know, it looks really cool. And then he made this little shop area with the visual storage hanging there, and he made a custom sign. So we're using scribbles where you can add like images to signs, and that's why we can see a whole shop behind him. It's just an image, it's not real. But yeah, it does look really cool, doesn't it? Like, it feels very much real. So yeah, the butcher is looking good. And then we have the tailor right next door. And as I said, there's a lot of cool layers to this build, actually. Like, there's a lot going on here. Looks really cool. Yeah, really crazy, but yeah, cool vibes going on. Really unique building with all these staircases up to different layers and different entrances everywhere. And then these little bays actually are quite cool. You know, maybe you pick up your dry cleaning or your new outfit from here. Then we have the sculpture right next door. Very happy with the way this one turned out, to be honest. I love all the different things, like this little bit here. I don't know what it is about it, but just a really fun addition to the build. And of course the tower, which is always a really cool one, but I especially like the way this one came out with these little arches here. And yeah, the details with the little dermises of heading small owls by using the smaller dermises is such a cool little addition to add some more character and life to the builds. And then we have this building here. Well, the build itself on top is maybe not that complicated. It's similar to what I've done before, but these little arches below with these workplaces that you then get are quite cool. And all of these statues from the Castle Craft custom cosmetics are really cool to add some life to it. Yeah, so it definitely helps, you know, figure out some kind of purpose for a build before you start working with it. And I made like a little workplace there, of course, but we also have some new infrastructure here. So you come down the stairs right here where we have the main statue that we already had, but then you also have some walkways down here to the little garden, because this was the apothecary, so it makes sense to have like a little herbal garden in the back, especially since the herbalist is right next door, so they can kind of share a lovely little garden here. So there's a bunch of mushrooms out here as well, just adding a bunch of life and greenery to the whole place. And then of course got a little shed here to the side as well, and especially since this building is a little bit more raised up, I think for the whole skyline of the build, it really helps as well, making this stand out a little bit more. Even though there's buildings in front of it, it will still stand out. And especially of course because the tower is a little bit higher, even with these tall buildings in front, there's always something that you can still see, which really adds a lot to it, making the town feel more alive. And especially these hills, using these ferries pathway blocks to kind of connect them up, really worked too. And it kind of goes with the terrain. And then we have this one on a diagonal because it's not on the same grid as the rest, which actually really helps, you know, kind of transitioning from the main town a little bit more of like the outer edges with these little sheds and stuff. And also just kind of, yeah, has nice transition instead of like a straight line where the town ends. So yeah, I really like this one as well. There's quite a few details here with like all the different boxes and the wood, the lumber that are going on back here. And then of course we have the visual storage crane, which is quite cool. Just adds a lot of life and like character to the build. Oops. Yeah, a really cool look. But I'm definitely enjoying the way this whole process is going and the way this is starting to come all together now. Then I'm not quite sure when we'll be able to do the next one. We might still be able to do one this month before I go on a little holiday break. But yeah, it's definitely starting to look really, really good. Of course, we had the little village that I was working on myself, mostly on streams and videos. But this, of course, goes a little bit quicker with a lot of help. And I think we, in the end, will have quite a cool town to kind of showcase what is possible within this awesome building mod. And of course we have all the builds here from last time-lapse video as well. If you want to see those in more detail as well as the full tour for all of that, you can of course watch the previous video. But yeah, some cool things. I've added some color to the roof here of the bakery, and yeah, I'm really happy with this project. It's really fun, you know, working together with some other builders, having some fun nights of building and creating this lovely town and kind of going with the flow, because we didn't really have a plan when we started last time. This time, at least everyone picked a building they were going to work on, like a shop they were going to work on before we started, so that helped a little bit. But yeah, we're just freestyling this, and so far I'm really liking the way it's turning out. Hopefully you like it as well. Now, for most of these builds, you won't see any building guides, of course, because I'm not building all of them myself, so we're not doing any building guides. I am very tempted to make a build guide for this one in particular. Let me know if you'd like to see that. Maybe I'll be able to do it, but it might be a while because I am also going on holiday and I'm not quite sure if I can get it done before I leave. But yeah, let me know down in the comments below. And as always, of course, if you enjoy seeing these videos and these time lapses and you want to see more, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I hope to see you again in the next one. For now, goodbye.